to the cloud. Okay. All right. So welcome to Tuesday training. I'm going to go ahead and record and start. I know it's just Rachel and I know sometimes trainings during the day are hit or miss because people are getting back to school and whatnot, but I just wanted to kind of do this training. I made a document for this training, actually for Zion Fire Tuesday training. I forget, a couple months ago. So it isn't alive in the Zion on Fire training. So, or team page. So if you scroll through there or you look for it, you might be able to find it live. But I wanted to have it recorded so that I could send it to some of my executive friends, and it may be even very helpful for you guys. So obviously my name is Erica Hackman, and I have been at Zai Active since 2018. And I have 50 or more first level sponsored reps. So really sales wise, fine, but recruitment is something that I'm very passionate about. I did in my previous jobs. And so I like writing and training on it. But so today what we're going to talk about is we're going to talk about my dog who is wrestling in the background. A toy or something. It never fails. He either has to go to the bathroom or he has to wrestle something. Oh, hi, is that Brucey?
He's here for your training.
Everybody. So today what we're going to talk about is we're going to talk about obstacles that we have while we recruit or prospect. Okay, and I know there's a lot of good trainings out there on the funnel and filling your funnel. And so basically, if you are doing your reach outs, I know Anna and I talk about this a lot, doing your reach outs and filling your funnel with prospects. These are things that you might have happened to you often. These are things that 100% have happened to me in my business and always pop up here and there as I move through the recruitment process. I knew when I first started that building a team was something that I was going to have to do in order to have a legacy income. So yes, can I go out and do $10,000 a month? Probably. Can I have like 50 parties in a month and, bring in 33% at where I'm at right now? Yes. But in the long term, my goal and my vision for my business is to build a squad of directors who are then leading successful businesses and teams. And I have systems in place, and I'm always like touching those systems to strengthen them and make them better. So the first one, and I will definitely send you the document if you need it, or if you would like to do this training for your downline. I have 10 things that get in the way for us building teams. So if I'm looking this way, it's because I'm looking at my computer over here for my notes. So the first and foremost thing I think a lot of us struggle with in the beginning is you're afraid of being that girl, right? So you're afraid of sending the cold messages, okay? And you'll listen to a lot of trainings. A lot of people say they don't do cold messages because at some point the message and the seed you're planting is warm. Like this person you've had a conversation with, whether it's strictly on social media or it's strictly through email or whatever, or on the phone or text, like there's some point that we're in a warm conversation with them. So you're never having cold messages. I am the opposite. I will send cold messages. I will send warm messages. I like to say that I send semi-warm messages because I touch a lot of people that I haven't talked to in 10 to 20 years. So, it's not necessarily cold. It's not like I found them on Instagram through a hashtag. It's literally like I knew these people at one point in my life, and now I want to share my story. So everyone has their own level of comfort. Being uncomfortable is usually something that we all try to avoid. Okay, there are also people who despise MLMs. Like if you Google it and YouTube, you will probably cry, like I have many times, where there are MLMs, eye bashers, you name it. There are those people who they can have their own opinions, right? As well as we do. And they despise you. Those people haunt you in your sleep. If you are the personality type that strives to please everyone, even strangers that you don't even know, this might be an obstacle that you will face. Okay. So you're afraid that people will think that you're too pushy, that you're mass messaging people, like they're just getting another message that's the same message, different person, different company. you internalize feelings of what people probably think of you and that you perceive, and that what you perceive, they perceive, prevents you from going to get what you need to be successful. A million no's will add up to 100 of yeses. So, you know, as we're approaching 2020, it's my goal to have a team of 500 people. That can't happen if I can't build and sustain the team. And that can't happen unless you guys can build and sustain a team. Number two is you are not presenting the business opportunity often to everyone and not at all. So, you know, you'll hear a lot of people that say, I think Rachel or some other people have said like, oh, you know, I saw on Facebook that so-and-so that I know joined Zaya and they didn't join under me. Okay. That happens a lot. That happens to me. That's happened to me. It's even happened on the vice versa of that. Like I've planted the seed. I've talked to them about it. I know Anna and I talked about this today and they joined someone else. Okay. So you're waiting until, like, if you're a new rep, you're waiting until you know more about the business, until you hit $10,000 in gear in your first month or 6 months, until you can approach people about selling and presenting the business. The minute that you hit enroll, I would start thinking about who you want to join your team, okay? In the beginning, it is people like Rachel and Anna and Kelly and Marla. Those people are close to my heart, right? Those people I would hang out with were outside of Zaya, okay? Not saying that I wouldn't hang out with anyone else, but those people I was working out with Anna. Obviously, I went to high school with Rachel. Like, these people have been in my life and we align in a certain way as far as like commonalities. So are you looking for a magical script that all the successful reps use and that will work for you? Do you see people that you associate with do you see people that you've associated with joining other people's teams and reps and not you? Are you continuously telling your team and your uplines that you cannot recruit and you struggle to build a team and you do not know what was wrong with you? Okay, trial and error, make a plan, ask for referrals, make prospecting what works for you, and lead with the business always and forever. So this is something that I'm very passionate about. Lindsay and I, we speak this many times, like we lead with the business. So when I'm reaching out to someone, it isn't like, hey, I've joined Zaya Active. I would love to have a party with you. Or I'd love you to try some leggings. Like, then I have nothing to fall back on. I'm always doing my reach outs and telling them, hey, I'd love to share more about the business. I'd love to tell you more about what I do as a rep. Like, do you have some time? Okay. Then you put the ball back in their court. Yes, there are a lot of times where there's already people that I'm intertwined with that I ask to have a party and I move a back way. But for the most part, most of my referral or most of my reach outs will hit a couple of things. It will definitely hit a party, because if they turn on the business opportunity, I can fall back on that. And it most likely somewhere down the line will lead in a sale. I already kind of know that. But I want to be able to be one of the first people and take that chance and have a higher percentage to get them on my team, because I presented that opportunity first. I hear a lot of people that I follow up with say, oh, my nanny just joined Zaya and I will always buy from you and her, but she's really close to me. Okay, now that I've planted the seed there, there's a 50% chance if she ever joined, she would join with me because I am the first one to ask her. Or number two, she's going to join with her nanny or grandma or somebody else down the line. Okay, I already know that that's a percentages. And as time goes on, that percentages go down. So I have to take that chance and gamble to be able to plant a seed about the business opportunity and align it with what their needs are, because otherwise I'm at 0%, right? I took 0 shots. Number three is you are not consistent with sharing, talking, or working with the brand or the products of the business. So you have your people who I call discount reps. They post every Wednesday. They talk to people about Zaya just on Wednesdays. Or when you're at a family function, someone says, oh my gosh, I really love that tank top. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I sell Zaya. Oh, you do? Okay. Number 100 red flags, right? Like, anytime I walk into a room, probably with my family, they're like, Zaya, 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 because I know it's coming, okay? So I have to be able to have it be a large part of my life if I want to build a business, okay? So on the opposite side of that, whenever someone joins my team, I know exactly where they are and how they want to work the business. I'm not just saying, hey, Anna, you want to talk about prospecting today? You want to talk about building your team? Like, she's not in a place where she wants to build a team. Then we move on. It's a two-way street. But other aspects in your life are distracting you from being consistent or working in small pockets of time that you do have. Do you post new releases on Wednesdays and then come back for the next week for another post? Wait, where did you go for 7 days? Do you ask a lot of questions when the resources to get information that you've been provided, training, calls, website resources? Is your schedule at home leaving you little to no time to build the empire you're dreaming of? Are you struggling to find the time to work out or go to the bathroom alone? Okay, find the power partner, phone a friend, schedule weekly calls with your upline, message other people successful outside of your direct sales channel, and share the product, brand, and business opportunity weekly. I am not saying that people who aren't on social media cannot be successful. 100%. I think everybody can do it however they want. I have found success in building algorithms. And in that, I post 4 to 5 times. I make sure that I have non-branding posts. I make sure that I have interactive posts. I make sure that I'm building my VIP group, because that is where I take care of my customers and my potential reps. I do enough. I'm not at the extreme end of story sequencing on social media. Like, I'm probably pretty fair in the middle. I am aware that 18 of my posts are probably all about Zaya and nothing is about lifestyle, so I am aware of that. But one thing is for sure, and I knew this from the beginning, that if I wanted to build a successful business, I had to be consistent. I either had to be consistent in posting and stories and hosting parties and talking to people about referrals and sales. I had to be consistent, because if I go in and out of the business, I leave gaps and holes for other people to step in. And that's in any business you have, really. It's just, that's how it works. And with the growth of the company, I'm going to have to do a lot more work to get back to where I want to be versus just touching the business every day. I think, and Anna, we talk about that a lot, just touching it a little bit. And, it's kind of like you're dating someone, right? If you really like them and you really want to be with them, you'll find time to do those things. So whether it's 5 seconds when you're in the bathroom by yourself, or when you're in line at the store, or whether, your kids are asleep, it really is very helpful to know, okay, where are my pockets of time at? And when my pocket of time disappears because my baby is up or my kids are acting crazy, I need to find a different pocket of time. Number 4, I do this often. Okay. I still do it. And I'll tell you a story about it. Just happened to me last month. I prejudge. I think to myself, oh, I would ask her or him, but they're probably really busy and they don't have time. I would probably ask him to join my team, but he would never want to join my team because this business is dominated by just women. Do you talk yourself out of contacting people because you finish their responses to you before you get them the questions necessary to recruit more teammates? Let me tell you right now, it's not a good time. Then ask if it's okay to follow up and try some leggings or host an event, right? That's falling back on other things. I do this often. I will always, every month, every week, use Discover Zaya, new rep trainings, a new kit. I will always use those as an opportunity to put out there on Facebook. So whether I'm getting engagement, whether I'm getting prospects from it, it doesn't matter. It is out there because that is a consistent message that I want people to see. I want people to see that and one time out of every time I post, I get something from it. Okay. Whether this is when we could talk about what Zaya is paid for. Okay. I always put that out there because I know paying $500 for some uniforms is hurtful for a lot of people's finances. And even though we build to prepare for stuff like that, I don't exactly want to spend $500 of my income on uniforms. So I always think about who I'm aligning myself with when I make those posts. You guys know as well as I do, the damn kit, okay? You will hear 100 times, I don't like the kit. I don't want to join right now because I don't like the kit. Okay, well, there's a $100 gift certificate in there. Actually, I'm in a spot in my business. Just give me the crap you don't like and I will buy you whatever you like, okay? You will hear that often. So when you prejudge people, I did it last month. I posted something about a Discover Zaya. Hey, come listen, whatever. And usually the people who like it, I message. Well, one of the people who liked it, I didn't message because she's kind of a friend and she's bought for me. She kind of does a couple other MLMs. I prejudged in my mind thinking, well, and I literally thought this to myself, like she's probably just supporting me by liking it. So I didn't message her. Okay, a couple weeks later, she messaged me and says, hey, can you talk me out of signing up for Zaya? Like, I don't want to spend my whole pocketbook on there. Okay. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I just prejudged her thinking that she would never join my team because she's got a full-time job and she does 2 LMLM. Like I prejudged her thinking, oh, thanks for your support. I appreciate that. no one is out of your reach, and at least you've asked. You know what I mean? Like, they're still going to be your friend, right? Number 5 is you struggle to build rapport and create relationships. Okay. After you've been ghosted for 3 or 4 messages, you just feel like giving up. You cringe at the fact that someone that you just talked to in Target and you have never seen before, you or your kids before, or you're in an elevator with a person and you might be having a mini anxiety attack when they say hi to you. You struggle to connect or exchange or share ideas and collaborate. You don't know the first place to start in cultivating or building a community or any sort of online. And you talk to someone you do not know in the grocery store. Maybe when, oh, sorry, I have a whole bunch of nonsense. I promise you, you won't melt, you won't blow up, it will feel good. You can compliment someone genuinely or just say hello back. When you give someone compliments, when someone gives you compliments, give them your card or connect with them on Facebook or your VIP group. A fun fact is you just met someone outside of your warm market, okay? This has been one of my goals. If you know me, you know that I've been trying to recruit someone out of the grocery store or Target or whatnot. I think that honestly, it's because we were in quarantine for 3 months and I didn't really get to see anyone or talk to anyone unless it was like this. I do remember shortly after we came out of like that lockdown session, we went by, I think it was margaritas or something. And it was when outdoor seating just came about. And Ryan and I stopped and I had a margarita and I got food to go. There was a couple and they were sitting there and waiting for a table because like only 2 tables could be outside eating or whatever. And I've started to do this, and I challenge you guys to do this. When you say hello to someone, strike up a conversation. The easiest way to do that after the small talk is done is, what do you do? People love talking about what they do. Oh, I stayed home with my kids. I'm homeschooling them. Do you know what that's like? It's absolutely awful. You know, like people love talking about what they do, right? I run an activewear business. I have like 150 or more people on my team. It's grown like crazy. Like I love it. I'm very passionate about it. I used to coach soccer and now I have this platform. Like I myself love talking about myself and my kids. Everybody does it. 99% of the people are going to be like, well, what do you do? Okay, so asking people, what do you do? Like, what do you do? Like, I'm not telling you about Zaya right now. I'm asking you about what you do, because then I get a better idea of how to align the business and sneak it in there. Okay, not sneak it in there because I'm always going to put it in there. Just the other day, we were at Beckett's baseball lessons. Okay, I'm the kind of person that thinks if there's 2 people sitting on a bench and you're not saying anything to each other for about 45 minutes to an hour, it's a little weird. So, you know, I'm sure Anna, you'd be the same way, right? Like this chick is sitting next to me and she's wearing activewear. Her kids are in the cages with my kids. Like, why am I not saying anything to her? So long story short, we just started talking about, she played volleyball at Swift. In this little 10 minutes, I knew a lot about her in order to be her new Zaya rep, okay? And honestly, I didn't even really know her name at the end, okay? I knew she played volleyball at Swift. She's from Redbud. She knew people I knew from Redbud. Her 3 kids are my age. She's a PE teacher in Columbia. And I knew what sports all 3 kids played, literally, in the 10 minutes I talked to her. And so I also know that she's hosting an online Zaya party right now. Okay. So she might not be mine now. She might not be mine ever really, but she now is in my VIP group and, you know, I can kind of, now I know one more person. Okay. So that's always been my challenge it's hard for me to build relationships online. It's hard for me to look up hashtags on Instagram and message a bunch of random people and get them. I've done it on the Peloton app. It's not exactly easy. I relate that 100% to recruiting college students. International students were our bread and butter because they wanted to come play at the US. It was so hard to build relationships over the phone with international students because they couldn't see your campus. They couldn't see, you know, your team. They couldn't see, I mean, they could see me like this, but only a short glimpse of it. So I knew that if I could get those people and in person and on my campus, that I'd have a better chance of getting them. And that's how I feel about recruitment for my team. Number 6, you're dying to recruit a team, but you don't have anything in place to sustain them. Okay. So I'm very guilty of this. I, for the first year, recruited tons of people, and they would join and then die, join and then die. And literally it was like this in my my previous job at Lindenwood. And my athletic director told me this often. It is very easy to recruit somebody and then find another one to replace them. It's easier to sustain the people you have and develop and coach them versus replacing them. Okay. And we used to call this phantom churn. In another job that I had, we would add a new line. And then when we wanted a new sale, instead of building rapport and building relationships, we'd say, just cancel that old line and let's get a new one. Like literally we were killing the business because we kept trying to find new ones. And I align that here with what we do, because honestly, people are always looking, okay, I want a new person I want 3 people every 3 months because I want this bonus, or I want this trip, or I want whatever it is. It has to be a full balance. It has to be, I need 3 people a month because I need them to have 3 people a month and them to have 3 people a month, because that is where my foundation comes from. Because now I'm a year and a half in and I refuse to sell $10,000 a month. I refuse to do that. My income has to come from those people that are building successful teams. So are you guilty like me? Have you tagged 7 of your new reps in a video that your upline had created? Do you talk to your new recruit more during the recruitment process than they do when they join your team? Do you have an onboarding process, and what does that look for a variety of learners? Do you have a new teammate that wants to use their new business? Do you know how your new teammate wants to use their activewear? Do you have a plan in place that will develop the people that you prospect? Actually, do you have a plan at all? Do you just seek those around you, ask them what's worked for you, find the highest reps trainings, watch them, learn from them, have a plan to develop people and want to win, and those who are still here with you? So I did a training on this not too long ago for my friend Sherry's team. When people tell me I want to be a director, maybe they're just thinking in their mind, like that's a huge milestone in your business, whether you're here for 3 months or 3 years. It is shown that you have a good, solid commitment and that you can do a large amount of business in a short amount of time, 30 days to 28 days. I did this for a long time. I would literally have people join my team, and you guys are probably guilty. You guys are the victims of this. And then Katie and Monica would develop a new rep training and I would tag you in it. I have no idea if you've watched it. I have no idea if you understand it. I have no idea if you have more questions. And I probably have an idea that you have more questions because you probably asked me, hey, how do I set up a link? Or how do I do the party? Like, how do I close a party? Like all of those things, okay? So probably when I hit senior director, maybe a little bit after, I started to be like, all right, Erica, this is your show. It is no longer Lindsay's show. It is no longer Monica and Katie's show. Like, this is my show. And if I want to use those resources, I have to be able to follow up. I have to show them, I have to train them, I have to hold them accountable to what they want. I have to follow up and I have to get them feedback. I know this happens, but when people join and they stay at 145 for almost 3 weeks, it drives me nuts because they haven't used their gift card. They haven't probably set up their VIP group. Like, there are a couple of things that are non-negotiables within my first week. Okay. I literally tell people, all right, you've joined. Now we need a one-on-one strategy call. I have to get my new rep on the phone. Tell me, how many hours do you want to work a week? How much money do you want to make? How much is your commitment to this? And because that's what I need to know in order to be able to help you. Okay. All I need you to do is we're going to take your party group or VIP group and we're going to work on building that. We're going to set up a party link and you're going to use your gift card. You're going to be your very first customer. So you have gear on the way for people to touch and feel, and you can take pictures. Okay. And you can go live when your kit comes. That sets you up for your first week. Okay. Not tagging someone in the video. Okay. Number one, this has helped not only my newest reps get to 1,000, it's helped my team volume 100%. It shows them in that first week, okay, because the longer they sit and don't do anything, the less percentage of success that you're going to get for your team, okay? When Lindsay works with Sam and she works with some of the executive people, it is literally, the data has shown that if a person hits senior rep within the first 90 days, it's a 70% chance that they're going to make it to director. Okay. That is huge. The people who make it to director, they really don't, most of the time they don't turn back for whatever reason. Okay. I did hear one girl that quit just not so long ago on somebody else's team who was a director, and that's the first girl I've heard of. But you have to have a system. Okay. So once I get that all lined up and they're having their lunch party, I say, okay, let's get your lunch party to 200, because my goal is to get them to 1,000 in the first month to get an extra 8%. The girls that are killing it and that are all in, they will blow that out of the water. They will do like 6,000 and 8,000 and 10,000, and you won't have to like hold their hand as much. But what I will tell you is it also is a huge recruitment tool. I know if I join Anna's team that there's organization in getting me set up. There's also organization to getting me to the next rank and to building a team. I know that I'm going to be coached through this, and I'm not going to be just churned and burned. They're going to sign me up. And then at the end of the day, that person sitting there and her team has like 7 people on it and no one's doing anything. And they're like, well, I'm only trending $4,000 and I have all of these people. Like, what's happening? You have to go back to the processes and be like, listen, people are going to want to join you because you're successful and they see that success. And I tell people that like last month when I had 7 people join, there was a couple people, I'm like, listen, I will help you. I'm not going to do the work for you, but I'm going to give you these little tick points for you to do. You either do them or you don't. You check them off the list. And that way, when they come back to you and say, well, my launch party kind of sucks. Like, I'm not getting any sales. Okay, well, have you gone live? Do you have friends that have bought gear that have pictures in your launch party? Like, are they passionate about the gear that they just bought for you? Okay. So systems are a very important piece of the recruitment process in building and keeping building. Okay. 7, it is really not about you all the time. It is about them. Okay. I know I hate this because I love me, right? I love me. I love my kids. I love my team. I love my squad. It's really not about you. It's about them. Okay. So like I was saying, when I met the girl at the baseball thing, I knew enough information about her as she was speaking to be able to help her and to align her business. I didn't say, oh, hey, you should totally join my team. Like, you could use the discount. I don't even know if this girl cares about a discount. Okay. She might not even like the discount. She might want to spend full price. We all have those people who continue to buy for you full price instead of join. Okay. Sharing your story about Zaya is fantastic. That is a great place to start. That's a great seed. Evolve your why. Talk about it often, maybe monthly. But talking and sharing every detail about your journey in the company can be overwhelming. Okay. We call this like word vomit. Okay. Do you find yourself so excited about the chance of having a teammate that you need to come up for air? You are recruiting yourself. I love to talk about me, and I love to see others succeed. I love knowing about their lives, how Zaya can change that. Discover Zaya is a great place for people to start on your team and connect with other people's viewpoints, not just yours. Facts tell, stories sell. Okay. So honestly, I love this part of the recruitment process because now these people are my squad. Okay. I've recruited them. We've talked often because I just want them to use their code or sign up. Okay. Maybe I haven't connected with this person in 10 years. I love that part of it. I love the part that now I have the opportunity to be close with somebody that I haven't been close with in 10 years and know more about their lives. It makes it easier for me to coach them and help them win and help them be successful. Like Allie, she's been in here for a couple months. She's getting ready to hit senior rep. Like, I know I talk to her often, and sometimes, just like the recruitment process, there are times when I talk to people and it's not really about the business, but that's a two-way street. I can't be always the one reaching out to people being like, what's up? What are you doing? What are you doing this weekend? How can I help you? Blah, blah, blah. It's got to be a two-way street. Like, Anna calls me every morning. I don't just call her every morning. Like, it is a two-way street. We have a relationship, whether it's about Zaya or not. Like, she calls me and sends me funny videos. I mean, just whatever it is.
All right for you.
Number 8, are you using the resources, tools, training, and companies that the upline has provided? Like I said, yes, I plan Discover Zaya new rep trainings, usually with Lindsay, or now probably with my new directors. And I do that off of Katie and Monica's. I know Katie and Monica are very strong. I know their Discover Zaya's like the back of my hand, right? But even just a couple minutes of the one that I listened to last night, I know that that's going to get somebody. I know that that's going to align with somebody. They're like, wow, that girl's been here since the beginning. She's been here for 3 years. She joined and 6 months in, there wasn't a men's line. Like, wow, she's come full circle. Like, I want to listen to her. I want to be engaged by her. Okay. Wow, Erica has a new rep that's gonna, that sold $5,000 and she triple ranked. Like, wow, like I want to hear more about that, So using those resources you have to do, whether you have one person on your team or 10 people on your team. Like I have over how many people on my team, and there's 3 people live on this video, right? Don't care. I didn't care if it was just me recording. I'm always offering people opportunity every week to get better. And as time goes on, it's only going to get bigger and bigger. Okay. So whether you have a team of 10 or 1, start small. And if it's just like a business strategy call every morning, like Anna and I do, great. If it is a team call and you can record it and only one person gets on, that's fine. For me, anytime somebody's going towards director or hits director, I say, hey, let's set up a call with your people. Like I want to know them. I want them to know me. I want them to be engaged. I want them to know that if you're not available, they can go to someone else too. Like the sister lines are very important here. So use the training tools, use the Severzaya, the new rep trainings that Sam is having. Go back and listen to them. You will learn something new and take little nuggets from every training that you do. Number 9, you do know women can smell desperation, right? You were messaging the same list of people that expressed a small amount of interest the day you enrolled. That was 3 years ago. Now you need to move on to a new list. Are you wondering why the 5 messages you sent say read, but no one is responding? Okay, that's a little extreme, but putting good vibes in the userverse is a little different than stage 5 vibes. So be like Elsa. Sometimes you just need to let it go. They won't be the only person interested, then they ghost you. They also won't know that they can be a rock star. If it was meant to be, it's meant to be. This is a couple things that I will say that I've learned for myself is you send a message, probably the same message you sent. Hey, I know I haven't talked to you in a while. You popped up in my feed and I just want to send you a message like, how cute is your family? Obviously, you've seen that from my social media, like I've been doing Site Active for a year and a half. I'd love to talk about you. The opportunity would be something that you would be interested in hearing more about. Okay. That's generally what I send someone. And I word for word know that because that's generally kind of what has always worked for me. I send the message and then I send my link and it gets read. Actually, I send the message and it gets read, right? No response. Oh man, I forgot to send the link to my website. Check out some of my gear. Let me know what you think of it. Have you ever tried a Zaya piece? Okay. 2, gets read, no response. Okay. A couple of times a week later, I'll like something in their story or I'll reply, oh, that's a cute outfit on their story or whatever. And then it pops into their messages and they're like, oh my gosh, I totally didn't see that these messages that you just read, that you sent me, like, let's chat, blah, blah. That has happened before, okay? Because their kid has their phone or, something, they're in the middle of a freaking breakdown in the car and they don't go scrolling through their messages. So that has happened to me before. So
potty, but now they're in a breakdown in the car.
Yeah. Well, you know what I mean? Like just the other day, freaking Charmaine was doing a training for me and she was like, my car broke down. Like, but like those kinds of things happen and people don't just be like, oh, I forgot Erica messaged me about a life and death situation of some activewear. You know what I mean? Like that happens sometimes. So I take that chance and I still engage them with activity. And sometimes I just merely say, I know it might not be a perfect place. I would love your support. Would you mind coming over to my VIP group? I do a lot of things like recipes and accountability and workouts and fashion. I do a lot of other things. Would you mind? Okay. So then I'm giving them exposure to my team. I'm giving them exposure to the company and all the success that I have along the way. And all I'm asking them to do is watch. Okay. Number 10, are you confident? Do you align yourself with the company? Do you know how it was created? Do you know by whom? Do you know the underlying components outside of the products that mean something more than just receiving sales? What can the person gain from joining you versus another rep in the company? Do your beliefs align with theirs? What strengths do you have and what strengths do they have that make you better and make you a better team? What is your mantra? What is your team vision? Do you trust the process and do you have a process? Collaborate, make it your own, separate yourselves from your others in the company and find a way to duplicate that through your downline. Make the transition from me to we, okay? So basically, I do have things in the back of my mind that prevent me from being successful. I do have questions and doubts about what I'm doing every day. I have 2 events going on right now, and it's crickets, and I'm completely frustrated. I was presented with this mega event idea, and then working alongside recruitment, and then segmenting my month. And I thought, why not? If it's working for someone else, and maybe it can work for me, you know, it'd be great organization for my business. And right now I'm not shutting it down, but I'm thinking, Erica, you have a completely successful process in what you do. I did this in soccer. I was 0-5 every single season because I played top 10 teams in the country, and my team 100% was not ready for that. But I trusted that process, and I wanted to give them that experience. And every time somebody asked me, like, don't you think you should put some easier teams in your preseason like schedule because to gain some confidence for your people, I said no, because I trusted my process and I was confident in it. And although it may not have been right for everyone, it was right for me, and I wanted to be right for my squad. So however long you've been in the company, however long that you have been doing this, there will be peaks, there will be lulls. If you sit inside the lulls for longer than you need to, you won't be successful. And I tell Anna this often, like, when stuff gets hard, people quit. Guess what? That leaves room for all of us on this call to be successful. Okay. So whether they join your team in 5 months and hit these big ranks and sell all this gear and whatever, like, I know it's hard to compare your journey with other people because I do it often, but I have to reel myself back in and say, listen, I have a process. I know it works. And I have some amazing people along with me. And that is seriously, that is the forefront of what I talk to people about when I want them to be on my team. I would love to continue to add 6 or 7 people on my team a month. It's difficult. It's not easy, especially when you have all this other stuff going on with homeschool and kids and whatever. But what I will tell you is that when you go looking for people on your team, go look for the people that you want to hang out with, that you want to be successful. And you could tell them you can do this all you want. And there are a lot of people, even Lindsay and I are like, dude, she would be a rock star. She would be awesome. If they're not ready and they don't want it, that rock star is nowhere. It's in you still. It's not in them. So I'm not saying all of these things have happened to me. I'm not saying that all of them don't continuously happen to me, because they do. And I just put processes in place to overcome all of that. And I try to help others overcome that. And so I know it's not easy. It's kind of like my fitness journey. I hate running. I hate push-ups. And there are many times where I do all of that because I know that I'm not good at it. I know that it's my weak point. So, you know, you could probably build a team of 15 people if you wanted, but if you don't have the systems in place, like, the 15 people don't mean anything. I would rather have one person who really wants to do it than have 15 people. So I know Katie talks a lot about having a lot of people doing a small amount of work. And that's why I still continue to coach my discount reps. This is a great month to grab somebody and say, hey, do you want to just have one person join your team and get the 600? Like, I can help you do $125 extra bonus on your check just by getting a senior rep. Okay. So just know that as you move past this call, when you go looking for people, keep some of that stuff in mind. And also keep in mind that when they do join, it's your job and it will benefit your business. The sooner you can get them to senior rep, because they have a 70% chance of being a director. And director, moving forward in the pay plan, it will graciously reward you. So I know I'm getting on the call with Rachel's crew. I just like to say thanks for showing up. You guys been with me in the business for almost since really the beginning. I know Rachel is probably like 7 months in, but you guys show up every day and you're consistent. And that literally, if there's 2 things that I say that really make a successful business, it's consistency and it's recruitment, 100%. So if you guys have any questions, you guys can just let me know. I will upload this so that you can pass it to your upline or your downlines. And if you have any questions, let me know.
Have a good one.
Thanks, Rach.
Thank you. I'll see you in a few.
All right.